Hi, today we're going to talk about Expandi. It's a LinkedIn automation tool, and it's the second one that I've been reviewing. So the first one was Linked Helper, and now we're going to check out Expandi together. Let us begin. So the first thing that I really noticed and really liked that there were statuses on LinkedIn activity. And if we want to have LinkedIn automation and to make sure that people use our LinkedIn automation, we need to make sure that we have statuses based on these activities and that the people can actually work with their contacts based on what happened or didn't happen on LinkedIn concerning them, right? Also, I liked how you can just automatically search for contacts. So I'm gonna show you even here how it goes. So you get my searches and you can just create new search here. Let's name it. And here you can go to LinkedIn and just select any kind of parameters, like let's say QA, people, and we can even say location, India, and show results. And then we get this URL here. And we can just paste this URL from this search here and start using it. So there you go. This is pretty handy. And like my next slide, I'm gonna show right away. It happens on the background. Anatol and I have been discussing that our search, it happens on the foreground. You cannot do anything with our extension unless the search, while you're searching for contacts, you have to be there, you have to go from page to page and things like this. Here it happens on the background. So this search is in progress, it's preparing. During that time, I can go to my campaign, I can do this or that. So check my dashboard, whatever else. So basically, I'm not linked to this process of the search. I don't have to stare at it all the time like we do with our Chrome extension. Also, there are two types of campaigns on Expandi. First one is a connector. So you send a connector request and you get it to include a message. And the second one is just a message for the people who you are already connected with, or an email if you have the Sales Navigator repeat option. But what I really liked here is that they have two types of connector messages, because some people limit the amount of characters that can be sent to them. And I really, really like how thought through it is. So here you can write the email or whatever the message, the connecting message. And then in case there is a lower character limit, they will use this alternative. So you can prepare it so your message doesn't just get cut in. And I think this is great. And this is this level of precision is something I admire. So this was the first type of campaign, connector, and here it's just the message, and you can also select follow-ups. So also pretty cool. I also liked the idea of being able to create and add a contact to Expandi by the pasting in the URL. This is also, I'm going to show you, pretty cool. So basically, it's here. For instance, I just go, for instance, here and I don't know. I'm gonna look up my friend here. There. And we can just copy her LinkedIn profile and paste it here, and she'll be added right away. Pretty easy, pretty cool. Oh, sorry, my internet is a bit lagging, or what is it? Yeah. This is the thing that I also liked, and like this is not as much about LinkedIn automation as just the general product, but I just thought it was pretty cool. In our platform, you can select like not to send emails or not to just not to send emails on American holidays, and American public holidays. But of course, we're aiming for a larger audience, so that would be very cool if, like, I don't know, people from Britain could select their for the whole year. They could select their holidays, and that exactly on those days the emails wouldn't go out, and people from India would select their holidays, and people from Ukraine there. So it is very handy because, of course, USA is our biggest market, but and anyhow, it would be very useful not to just give this option of American public holidays, but just for people to select the days, the dates on which the account shouldn't be active and the emails shouldn't be going out. So this was a pretty interesting feature as well. If someone from the platform team is watching this, I think it's pretty cool. Also, I liked that they have like this pending connection requests page where you can cancel it. You can see who the request was sent to. Also pretty handy to see that. I'm also gonna show you here as well. Yeah. So I have sent the connection request to all these people. And for instance, if I want, I can cancel. Yeah, and also, so it's a bit dark here, but there is a possibility to communicate. So you can just write emails, messages from the from Expandi itself. So, for instance, Alex, he connected with me, yeah. So now I can just write him a message and send it through Expandi. But also, like, I can create a template, and I think this is super useful because if you're gonna write everyone manually, hi, thank you for accepting my connection request, it of course doesn't make sense. So you can just create a like a reply template, like thanks. I'm missing an A here, like, and here you can say thank you for accepting my connection request. Great. And you can just select this, right? And there, you can select it. You can also edit it, you can delete it, but you can select it, and there you go. You don't have to type it all the time. There. They have a pretty handy dashboard, I would say. So here you can see all the stats. You can see all the stats. You can. It's kind of covering it a bit, so I'm gonna as well open it here. So of course I have a lot of people connected without campaign, but you can see how many connection requests were sent, first messages, follow-up messages, accepted requests, replied to follow-up message. So you have just replied and replied to a follow-up message and replied to a connection message. So you can pretty much have a very good overview of how people interact with you, at what point they interact with you. I think this is very nicely done. And here as well, you can see just the numbers, the connection requests and welcome messages, follow-ups, connected without campaign. So this is all of the people I had before I set up. The same things here, replied to the connection message, replied to other messages. Here you can see the active campaigns. So this is a connector campaign, as I said, that you just send out connection requests and a message. And here it's a messenger campaign. So so it should be a person that you already linked with on LinkedIn, and you can just send them a message. And here is pretty cool because you can see the upcoming tasks. You can see what's coming up next and when it's coming up. It's pretty handy as well. Yeah, and you also, so that was a dashboard. This was the general statistics on your activities, general outcome. And here we can see the stats based on the sequence, and also pretty cool that you can see here the ones who accepted, the ones who received it but are not accepting it anymore yet, and the one who haven't received it yet. Yeah, and here, so this is about the accepting or not accepting the connection request, and here it's about replying to you while connected. Yeah, so I have people that connected and responded, connected and responded to a follow-up, and connected but did not respond. Yeah. So I have the overview of how they interact here, particularly by the sequence. Pretty, and here we have also messages sent, messages answered, and messages not answered. So pretty handy, these sequence stacks as well. And also what I noticed, of course, that we still have a huge competitive advantage because both Linked Helper and Expandi, they don't even try to get any more information than the contact provides. So for instance, this is my brother here, and this is the title he has and his name. He doesn't have anything else. And there is no email, there is no phone number, so nothing. So unlike Lucia, for instance, or us, they just solely LinkedIn, no extra channels, no extra opportunities to communicate with them, just that. So this is something I wanted to show, because indeed we have a competitive advantage over this. Yeah, to be honest, I found pretty frustrating to work with Expandi, and our Vova of SDR said that it's the best tool now, and I personally like Link Helper way more. And I had to address support because here my contacts were syncing, nothing was working for over 2 days. Like they only have a trial for 7 days, and 2 days out of 7, I couldn't really do anything because this was just stuck. And this was lagging. Like I just previously showed you the previous slide where my brother Valentin is in my account, and now I couldn't look for him. I couldn't see him. This was just stuck like this. Very unhandy. And also, so I'm already connected with our Lena on LinkedIn. And here I was not able to message her because when you're not connected to this person, you cannot send them further messages. I was like, how come? So here is her profile on Expandi, yeah, and here is her profile on LinkedIn, and I'm connected to her, so this is clearly a bug as well. So yeah, very many things that really I didn't like at all here as well. So I see that there's something in my inbox, right? And I'm like, oh, great, I want to check my inbox. I click on it and I see no data to display. This is so unbelievably bad UI. Like then I realized that I should maybe add more of these tags here, but I think that they should by default show me this very message that I received. This was pre-selected, completely useless, because yeah, this was just very bad UI to me. That you see a number here, then you click on it, and you see no data. It's highly frustrating. And here with the limits as well, for the love of me, I could not figure out how to deal with this. So I see that I'm selecting 30 people to be contacted, right? Okay, 30 and 30 follow-up messages, let's say 60. And here, like, the message limit exceeds with 95 messages. How did we get to 95? Which limit is this? Because here is the limit, where like no link to where to find the other limit. How come the limit is less than 0, right? Because 60 and 60, 95. Highly confusing, couldn't figure out for a while as well, finally found it. But this error message doesn't help, and yeah, really confused. And then I went to check out the reviews on Expandi, and they were very few. So I found their page, and here was just review from one person, and then on G2 Crowd, there were just 2 reviews, which is crazily small. On Captera, they weren't present at all. I was just looking, in Google, just Expandi reviews, and most of those were, these link building articles. I didn't even want to check them out because I know how those articles are written, so it's not like objective information there. So very little information, very little reviews was I able to find about Expandi. But yeah, the one was the video, and another is this one that I'm attaching here. So they like the integration possibilities and the ease of setting up a campaign. And here's a bit of a complaining about support, but I also watched the video here on G2 Crowd, and the dislikes where there is lack of onboarding, lack of understanding how to do it. The UI is confusing, yeah, and the support. And the likes is, of course, automatic campaigns on LinkedIn, and statuses, also stats and statuses, that the ability to track your interaction. So that is pretty much it. This is what I was going to tell you about Expandi, and I hope that was interesting. Thanks.